Hello everyone, Growlina here. We don't get to it until way late into the episode, but we're still running our Pride of Proudmoore Head On Down to Pride River giveaway. Essentially, what you need to do is take a festive Pride-themed picture somewhere underwater or by water, we're pretty loosey-goosey with this one, and send it to us on any of our social medias or on our Discord at DoNotRelent.com. Winners will receive either the new 2025 Pride t-shirt from Blizzard.com or something of equivalent price from their online store. Basically, we want to celebrate Pride and give you a little something for doing it too. There'll be more details later. There's more details on our social medias. You get the drill. Anyways, snap those pics and let's get on to the episode.
Archers, attack! Keep firing! Let none escape! Another down! Do not relent!
Welcome to a very important episode in this podcast's lifeline. That's right, because we got 11.2 Ghost of Koresh news. We're sailing to Koresha. I'm Slidewhistle.
It's your boy, Immunization. Hello.
And it's me, Aaron, Fire Mage Extraordinaire and Horde Punching Bag. And before we sail off to Koresha, I just want to say I am starting this episode with a Seagram's Escape Spiked. Randomly, it's WWE themed. I have two. I'll be drinking.
Is Randy Orton on him?
No, just the belt. And so I have a red one that is Rumble Punch. And I have a green one, which I will be drinking for our bonus episode. Go to patreon.com/DoNotRelent to listen to that. But
Wait, where did you say that you picked these up?
my local liquor store. And to my knowledge, they are the same belt. But this one's Rumble Punch. And the other one is like Mean Green.
Mean Green was the best they could do for that?
It's probably not Mean Green. But all I know is it's the same belt. It's the same presentation. But whatever flavor it is green. It is not Rumble Punch.
You know, they sponsored a wrestling match the other day, so I didn't know they didn't talk about the themed beers. They should have. They really fucked up. Today I am drinking a Waterloo Black Cherry, but I did roll the dice, and for maybe the second episode, I consumed an edible. So this could go anywhere. Who knows, folks?
Well, I'm drinking today. I made myself a Roman diet, so we'll see where today takes us.
Luckily, there's no specific direction to go because we got a lot of stuff to do and a lot of news to pour through. I'm going to take out my favorite grandpa candy. Do we want to talk about what's happening now or what's going on later?
If my grandpa's handing out now or later, something's seriously gone wrong. That's fucked up. Does your grandpa do that?
I just felt like it was a distinctly elder generation's candy. You're not going to get a lot of Gen Alphas on their iPads chomping down on now and laters.
You're not wrong. It's just like, ugh, that's horrible. It's hard. Okay, so we got a fuck ton of 11.2 news. We have a fuck ton of 11.7 news that we just got to get our hands on.
I feel like they just completely surprised us today. We had to record a day early, so it's actually kind of a blessing to us that they decided to drop a WoWcast episode about the 11.2 patch. So like we'll definitely get there. Should we start with the now stuff though?
Let's start with the future stuff. I think it's more exciting. Although I will say the now stuff I was actually excited about before any of this future stuff dropped. So I was ready either way. Let's start with the future. Let's go into Ghost of Koresh 11.2. No date announced, but we know it's coming.
Yeah, so this is what the WoWcast was centered upon. It was only a 12-minute YouTube video. I recommend watching it if you haven't. There's just a lot of news back to back to back. It's only 12 minutes long, but like I had to like pause a few times throughout it just because like they were just dropping big news back to back to back. And I like needed to pause for a second to think about what they were saying even and what the implications were. There's a lot going on in this upcoming patch.
So much like the title mentioning Koresh indicates, we will be going to the doomed husk of the Ethereal's planet. But we will be given a special cloak. A special upgradable cloak called it was something funny. It was like a Reshi skin or like a Reshi scarf. and it will allow us to finally see
The Reshi Wraps.
the Reshi Wraps, my favorite 7th gen Pokemon. And it will allow us to truly experience what the ethereals see.
So I'm a big fan of I like when they just give me a piece of gear that I don't think about. I'm a huge fan of this. And this thing, so it's basically the Dragonflight cape that you get from Raytheon. And if you didn't know what that is, it's basically the Onyxia cloak that you had. I've covered all our bases here, I think. I think everyone should be included now.
Yeah, I love an artifact like slot. You don't have to worry about it. It's like everyone's bis, like one less thing to try to hunt down, right?
Which they have been doing a fair amount, considering for a while there we had a ring where it's like, don't worry about it. One of these is filled. Now, spoilers, we have a belt where it's like, don't worry. Just for a couple months, you don't need to worry about belts. And then now they're like, and a cape too.
Yeah, you know what? Whatever. Those are lame slots anyway. But the back of it looks like, an ethereal's little mummy wrappings it's got going on, those purple yummy mummies. And I guess as you level the Reshi wrap up, it gets like more transmog to it. Like it's like it gets beefier, and then eventually it just covers your entire fucking head.
Yeah, and they said that they built this Reshi wrap around the tier sets as well, so that it wouldn't like cover up anything. And it's like the Raytheon one in the sense that like it improves and gives you additional T-Mog as well. So that's I always am very into that. I think that's great. But then this one also has an additional ability too, which is usable in like Outer World content, raids, delves, where basically I don't know if it's like an on-use thing or if it's just like when like an extra action button when you need it. Obviously we don't know yet, but like it basically puts you into like energy realm, it looks like, and like you can like they described it as seeing what the ethereals see, whatever that means. But like it looks like it puts you like in a purple realm. It makes you ethereal purple, and then you can like see things that you wouldn't be able to see if you didn't use the cape's ability.
And whatever it is, like you said, extra action or use or on use ability, it has to be really quick, because they already said in the raid there will be entire boss mechanics where you need to Reshi wrap to avoid attacks. So it's certainly not a channeled ability. It's probably just going to be a button that hovers in the upper right of my screen for months on end.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I'm like, am I going to have to put it on my bars? I mean, that's probably what I would just use, drag it down. But I'm like, what binding do I even give for the Reshi Wraps? I love that we don't even need a fun name. It is a fun name.
I know, it's what I was saying in our Discord earlier, which you can get to by going to donotRelent.com, where all of our links are. That I just feel like a Reshi wrap sounds tasty. It sounds like a lunch wrap that I would get at like a trendy spot.
I would trust the people at the Brody sandwich station to make me an overfilled Reshi wrap. I would go, Reshi wrap, please. And then they'd go, what healthy ingredients would you like? I was like, all the meat you have, all the sauces you have. And they
might
said,
be a little soggy though.
Yeah, they said, here's your soggy ass Reshi wrap. And then I would try and eat it and get smutch on my shirt, and then Demencius would kill me because he'd see the mustard on my shirt.
We gotta go to Brody Calf and ask for a Reshi wrap. Just see if somebody will just attempt to make it for us.
They're probably high enough to do something. They're like, okay, well, whatever. I'll see what speaks to me as Reshi.
They said I took an edible before this shift, so I'm already seeing what the ethereals see.
But yeah, so the ethereals are seeing this. Okay, wait. I'm gonna do my bi-monthly reading into the forums. These people are complaining about the Reshi wrap already on reddit.com and on the in the Wowhead comments.
The only complaint I can personally think of for myself is that I have put a crafted piece there, perhaps with an embellishment. So it's a little annoying to try to move that, but like that's not the end of the fucking world, you know what I mean?
They are saying, quote, "I'm just tired of having borrowed power." I'm like, guys, did we forget what borrowed power meant? It doesn't mean a slot that doesn't get replaced. It means like an artifact weapon that you put anima in, or like people are calling this wrap borrowed power. Any gear's borrowed power then.
Listen, you don't know how monumental going into what the ethereal sea realm is. Like we're borrowing that power.
I guess we literally are borrowing their power. So I guess maybe they're right. Reddit is right for once. I think a lot of this, I've already brushed off my honkometer, by the way. I think I know what I'm doing. I think Squirm's getting up. He's getting back up.
Well, I guess because it's thematic. God, I would not have expected Squirm. I saw you on a couple Silly Guys the other day, and I was like, ooh, the honkometer? I would never have imagined. 11:29 on a Thursday editing, Aaron. Very strange times I'm in. I don't think we ever said it, but Squirm is a void elf shadow priest. That's why it's thematic. If you don't have an encyclopedic knowledge of everyone's characters.
I think it's just reading about, like, this is what I kind of wanted the patch to be when I went into it as Squirm, and I knew we were getting here eventually, I just didn't know when. So the description they put forward for Koresh is home of the ethereals, fragmented void touch world, waiting for players to explore what remains. Shadowy forces working toward bringing Dementius back into the world. You're fighting alongside Illyria and her mentor Locust Walker, and we're exploring Tazavesh. So many crazy tie-ins going on here.
Yeah, so if y'all don't remember, I believe Koresh is where Locust Walker is from, and he told us about in the past in a storyline, I think, was it before the War Within or leading up to the War Within, about how Dementius destroyed his home planet, and they heard that song that like we had been hearing on Azeroth as well, right? Is that, am I remembering that right?
Yes, but don't worry.
As weird as it is, that could have either happened pre the War Within or late Legion. The first time we talked to him, I feel like he did lore dump at us, but I was not. Both times I've been forced to sit through that scene, I was not really paying attention.
Neither times really matter, because if you do the scenarios in 11.7, which we have right now, wasn't that one of the scenarios? He
Yes,
says it again.
That was the second time, but at that point, I was just
You
trying.
didn't pay attention the second time?
I've been there. When Lore Walker Cho said, oh, wake up, this is new, then I paid attention. When he had me fill Xalatath's blade, it's like, buddy, I did that in 2017. I've been there.
But the irony of it being that you just said you don't know because you weren't paying attention either times.
I knew that it happened. I could not tell you the particulars. The notebook that in my head that I use to keep track of WoW lore, it's very much just dots. I'm not writing down when I met a guy, where we were, or who he was. I'm just writing down what he told me so I can regurgitate it later on my radio show.
I've quested with you. I know how fast you read that quest tag, so I get it.
Well, I will say, though, just as a side tangent here, dipping slightly into the current content, I do like this Lore Walker Cho mode where like they are reminding us of things that are going to be important. You know what I mean? So like I feel like it's very nice that like it's tying in here. And then to transition back into like the 0.2 patch, in the WoWcast, they mentioned that, like, Tazavesh is back. Also, they just casually said that, like, Tazavesh is being relocated a la Dalaran style.
They said it so fast, I missed it. I didn't realize it was a hub city until you said that, and I was like, hub city? Let me check. What the fuck? It's a hub city?
No, this is what I was saying earlier. There are a few times where I had to stop and pause it and, like, rewind a little bit and like, take that in. I'm like, wait, they can move, the brokers can move Tazavesh? They're moving it to Koresh? And also, the dungeons are back in the rotation? I'm like, well, huh? They said, like, all that in, like, one breath. I'm like, holy shit, what the fuck, guys? Calm down.
It's giving me Nighthold vibes, because, I mean, like, we haven't seen an inhabitable Tazavesh. You know what I mean? Like, we just kind of ran around the actual instance, but the actual location is, like, what, like, a single board with a ship that takes you inside? So we're just going to be hanging out inside.
I want to talk about... They tipped their hat and they said, Dementius, he's getting reborn. He said, that little blueberry you took out in the Lore Walker mode, he's going to be a lot bigger. They said, quote, the size of Stormwind. They said, it'll be our biggest raid boss ever. And I just want to put my own little sour blueberry down and say, I don't believe them.
So they data mined like the size of Dementius already. I believe Slide is posting it in our host chat for you to witness.
But this is what I'm going to say is that guy will exist in the background. I'm calling it now. We will be fighting a carapace of Dementius, a avatar of Dementius. There is no feasible way they let us fight that guy, who is so big that you see buildings clipping into the ground. because to zoom out to see all of him, you go past the natural geometry of the game.
I think we fight him. I think the data mining would have shown that he was just a background character, not like the real thing. I think we're just gonna like Kingdom Hearts climb his ass right up to his little head and start beating it.
Yeah, or like have a thing where I assume we're going to be like out in a voidy space or something. Maybe there are platforms around him that we like move to and from and like fight parts of him, or like he spawns like mini Dimensiuses as we travel around him and maybe he shrinks.
I could see that. I could see what was the Deathwing thing where you went and you like fought his foot and then you fought like his
spine.
Not spine, what he turned into afterwards, where he was like...
I think it's just Deathwing.
Oh, Deathwing. Well, that fight from Kata where it's like, oh, you beat my hand! And then you go through a portal, it's like, you have to fight my shoulder! I guess I could see that, where we work our way up in several shifts until it's like, we're right next to his head! Beat it up!
I think this is going to be a fight like we haven't seen before. I think it's going to be a small, very small zone width-wise. It'll just be verticality going up. And I think we're going to use our Reshi Rat borrowed power to be flying around higher and higher to whip more of that ass.
But, you know, I'm like very fascinated in seeing how this goes because, yeah, they're just hyping it up now as being like, wow, his biggest boss ever physically. So...
They say he's 3,806 feet tall, 1,160 meters for the rest of y'all out there.
And then, somehow, after defeating Dimensius, the biggest boss we've ever seen, this ultimate lore character, we will then have to go save a zoo. Matt Damon called us. He said, I bought a zoo, and some terrorists, I guess, are attacking it now. They very specifically stated that the storyline of 11.2 goes leveling experience, raid, zoo attack. So I'm not going to undercut it yet, but what happens at the zoo that's the climax of this story?
Well, I assume the zoo is the thing, the other part of what they revealed here. And they made it seem like it was a big part of the end game of this patch as well. Basically, we are working with, I believe, Venari. Venari's making a return, and we're working with her to make a big ecodome like there was in the Netherstorm and like repopulate this part of Koresh, and like we like a zoo, we like bring animals in and see if they can live there, I think.
I love this. I think this is going to be fun as hell.
It's fun, but also, as an ecological man, isn't this bad? Aren't we not supposed to do this? That was the first thing I thought of, was like, are you not supposed to bring a bunch of species from random places into a new zone? Or is Koresh okay because it's just a purple wasteland?
Well, it's going to be closed off. So obviously we were not big TBC kids, so there's a lot of lore, I guess. Not a lot, but there's some lore about the ecodomes in the Netherstorm. There's 4 of them, housing animals such as Talbuks, lynxes, raptors, crocolisks, and more. So, I mean, what if it's done for, like, saving the species? Or what if it's done because, you know, their original habitat is being eaten by orcs?
Us bees, all our honeycombs are being eaten by orcs.
I will say, though, something tells me that's not the case, because they specifically said, I need you to take these animals and see if they'll live. Like, yeah, some animals aren't going to make it.
We're abducting Crossilisk and throwing them into space, and when they choke to death, it's like, those ones could not live there.
Venari's like, well, this one could not live here.
So, yeah, I don't know about that part, but it's cool. And it'd be cool if, like, it was, like, specifically to you, like, what animals you bring in. Like, what if, like, what if my ecodome is different than your ecodome?
So you're saying that, like, Draenei would bring, like, the giant, like, elephant type things. The pandas would bring turtles.
I'm just saying you can bring whatever the fuck you want.
I'm saying Growlina is bringing in 17,000 bees. And Venari says, I think we're good on bees. Please stop. It's like, I got a truck full of even more bees. I'm sorry.
Buzz, bitch.
Couldn't you technically get the Worgen from Northrend? Like, could you, like, are they considered?
They are animals, unfortunately. Yeah, these are... Sorry, my stupid cousins gotta live in the biodome with Polly Shore.
Whoa. Okay, so the news is literally flowing as we're going. Let's rewind a little bit to the raid. Now we only really know about the name of the raid, which is the Mana Forge Omega. Is that what its name is? I'm
Fuck,
pretty
I
sure?
didn't even know that. That's epic.
Yeah, so that's another thing that they just threw into this video. And yes, the concept of this raid is that Demencius's followers are like ethereals that are working to resurrect him. And I don't know if like that's going to be happening during the raid and then they successfully do it and then we fight him as the last raid boss. That's kind of what I'm envisioning. We don't really know. But this is also interesting to me because like it is a follow-up on like the storyline that we currently just had where it's like when those ethereals just came up and snatched away the doodad from Gallywix that he was supposed to be giving to Xalatath. So I guess this is what they wanted it with, which is kind of funny. So like, is this whole thing just like a side quest here?
Wait, you mean the zoo?
No, I mean like fighting off Demencius because Demencius's followers stole the artifact that Xalatath wanted.
I don't know if it's a side quest. I think it's the main quest, right?
Yeah, so like what about Xalatath then?
Well, yeah, it's tough. I was thinking this too, because she was like, "You lost my magic doohickey. I'm so mad at you." But at the same time, I'm pretty sure she's like this. I'm twisting my fingers together with Demencius. So when she finds out, will she just be like, "Oh, bet, cool," or is she a voidling who, for some reason, does not fuck with Demencius? Because
Well,
she's like a void creature. She shows up as like a void walker before she was a woman.
I don't think they specifically have to be like crossed fingers because she's not even like that with her other old god brethren. So the
So
lore,
I guess who's she out for? Just I guess herself.
yeah, it seems like it.
Yeah, she went into business for herself.
But but who knows? Because so the lore, I'm doing this off memory. I'm pretty sure is the Void Lords. So Demencius is Xalatath's boss.
Mhm.
Like she, Demencius, or not him specifically, the Void Lords threw the old gods into Azeroth. They threw them out like to careen into space, and they landed there to do basically void chaos bidding. And they just want chaos. So if Demencius wants that thing, she ain't getting it back from him. It's kind of how it works, I think.
Yeah, it just is interesting to me then that like they wouldn't be like aligned in their goals, you know what I mean? So was she defecting from them or were they just like, y'all are taking too long, we're going to take matters into our own hands?
That's what I was about to say. He's Megatron, she's Starscream, so it's like she'll do Demencius's bidding, but she's upset because she had the MacGuffin, and it's like, I don't want my boss to have the MacGuffin. That sucks.
Yeah, and like I think the whole kind of thing is they're all basically kind of psycho. We're like they're all I think all void beings are technically like out for themselves.
Whoa,
especially as you get up higher
whoa.
the chain.
Nastisha volunteers at her local soup kitchen, so you take that back. I don't know what Squirm does with his time, but Nastisha, she's giving back to the community.
Squirm does he takes from the community. He takes from your soup kitchen.
He dresses up like a unhoused individual and steals all the soup.
But we have the description of Metaforge Omega Raid. It says, a massive facility built upon the planet to harvest cosmic energy. Players will fight their way in and through this raid dungeon to take on the Shadow Guard Ethereals who have set their efforts towards reviving Demencius. You'll join your allies to ultimately fight Demencius in a cosmic battle of truly epic proportions to stave off what could be the end of Azeroth as we know it.
Honestly, I love for just the camp factor of every raid that is like, Azeroth's well-being, the existence of the universe is on the line, which I feel like we have at least 2 of those every expansion. So it just is kind of funny to me.
When was the last time that we had one? Well, I guess both of The War Within, I feel like those raids were pretty just like, this is an inconvenience. Like Undermined, I don't remember it being like, it literally, the MacGuffin is stolen before it starts. So this is just like, Gallywix, we should probably get rid of him.
Yeah, I think like it was basically just like, we don't know where the doodad thing went, and we don't know where Xalatath is or what she's up to. So Gallywix is being a little shit down in there in the Undermine, so let's go take care of that now.
I got my ass kicking shoes on, and the MacGuffin's gone, Xalatath's gone. I guess he's next up.
Who's the dragon that's missing? The man that the Earth Dragon from Dragonflight? He ran
Iridikron.
away. Iridicron. So who's he working for? Whose bidding is he doing?
The last
Himself?
time we saw him, fuck, because he was the original.
There's a lot of question marks here.
He was the one who stole the MacGuffin. Fuck. So yeah, who's he for?
I'm gonna need to like refresh my brain. Why isn't there's not any lore walking about Iridicron? I don't want to forget.
Literally, the last time we saw him, he took the Dark Heart into a portal that Xalatath
Which he
was
gave it to Xalatath. So he was working for Xalatath then, right?
Maybe I'm gonna assume he's a goon.
Or with Xalatath? Maybe not for. I'm sorry, Iridicron. Don't want to demote you.
You can demote until this guy has more story. I'm gonna assume he's a goon. He's Xalatath's goon, who is then Demencius's goon, but is trying not to be. So I guess he's just chilling, but like, where? I feel like if he shows up in Koresh, I would point at the screen and go, "This seems weird. I feel like you shouldn't be here."
Okay, yeah. How did I forget that he gave the thing to her? And that's weird. But like, she's not using him. He's not hanging out with her right now. Like, what is he doing? What is he up to? Iridicron, answer your phone.
And they even like Dragonflight, so it's not like a Shadowlands thing where they just like drop the mic and be like, "We don't need to worry about that ever again." Dragonflight characters, they should want to continue to use.
Yeah, it's just we need an interview with Chris Metzen so he can answer all of our questions. Chris, get on the show. Get on. Come on. We know you're a listener.
Most of the time I would bet money on like the fact that like any storylines that aren't wrapped up, they just don't have a plan for, and it's just like what it is. It probably will never be answered. But the fact that like they've doubled down and said so many times that like these 3 expansions are one flowing story, I feel like Iridicron will be back. I feel like Xalatath obviously will be back. I feel like it's all connected in some way, and we just have to like wait and go along for the ride. That's kind of how I feel about it. I think it'll all come back together.
All this to say, Manaforge Omega Raid. Couple tidbits I have about this one, right? First off, 8 bosses. Okay, sure, whatever. Second off, could be 7 bosses if you so chose, because the Soul Hunters is a 100% fully optional encounter.
How long has it been since we've had a raid where there's a boss we could just skip?
I don't know about skip, but I feel like Throne of Thunder was the last time there was a boss that's just like, okay, you beat the thing. You don't need to look at this guy.
The Butcher from High Maul and Warlords of Draenor was optional. That honestly might be the last one. Or was there one in Hellfire Citadel that we didn't have to do? I think.
No.
I
think that was just a big ad that we would avoid, honestly.
Yeah, because granted,
yeah.
I didn't play it. Well, I guess I did. I forcibly made myself forget it. I believe all the bosses are on like a main path you need to go to. So yeah, I guess since High Maul are raiding Height, this is the first time.
You gotta forcibly remember, those were fantastic times. I can see that layout in my head.
No, well, but the thing is, as a tank, because if you'll remember, I was tanking the Australian man's group. I don't know if we ever made it past that courtyard. I was very bad, so I believe we kept dying to Hellfire Assault / the big mech that would happen afterwards.
We cleared the whole thing eventually.
You did. I didn't. I went to jail.
Well, Alex cleared the whole thing.
Yeah, you guys. That's what I'm saying. You guys did. I went to jail and did not complete it in time.
Why me in particular? The fuck?
You guys look alike, okay?
Okay,
we do look alike.
List off some of these bosses.
Sorry, the walls are going crazy right now.
I wondered.
There's a fucking man crawling around there.
I heard it earlier. It might have been taken out because of the editing, but I heard it earlier, and I was like, "Is Slidewhistle just like scooting back and forth really excitedly?"
No, so the kitchens sit above each other. So the condo sits above another condo, right? Whenever they use their hot water in the sink, it causes the pipes to like expand and freak out and rattle in the walls, I think is what that is. So we know when they're like washing dishes, basically, when we hear the walls rattle.
Yeah, which I guess that makes sense. It's like dinner time, I guess. So like maybe they're just doing their dishes after eating.
Anyway, back to the raid. So the optional encounter is the Soul Hunters. And this has been interesting because Wowhead also has been pushing this weird narrative. I don't know if it's wishful thinking or if they know something. they're like, is Blizzard going to be bringing a third spec to Demon Hunters? And I'm like, why the fuck would they?
Like, I think that they're going a little too far here. Basically, on the WoWcast, they mentioned that there were demon hunters that you could fight in this raid, so I assume that's the optional encounter. But they just look like normal demon hunters to me, more or less, and they didn't mention anything specifically about them being any different than other demon hunters. I don't know why they're there. I don't know if they're like bounty hunting or just trying to steal something from the facility, which I have more that I want to say about the facility in general after we get through these bosses.
I honestly don't even want to talk about the bosses, because the bosses' names are just like jib jabberish that we don't know. There's one name I want to talk about other than this one. I actually want to talk more about the demon hunters, because this is very weird. We haven't seen demon hunters in the world literally since Illidan left, right? There's not like a main demon hunter hub where they hang out.
Yeah, because after Illidan left, they just sort of folded into like their two communities. Like, I feel like there's not, like you said, there's not even a demon hunter outpost. It's just like, yeah, when you go to New Tree, maybe there's one or two hanging around.
Because I think like in lore, there's not like a lot of them, right?
Well, no, there's not, because like the process sucks. I think that we're all, I say we, because I
make it, you were one forever ago.
Like the namesake is a demon hunter. Like Slidewhistle is demon hunter.
Because like the reason I haven't been on my demon hunter is because I guess I'm driven by lore to play my characters, and I literally see him right now is just chilling on the spaceship waiting for Illidadi to come back, and that's when I'll pick him back up. But like, there's been nothing, not even an inkling of a sighting of a demon hunter. What the fuck are they doing in here? Why are they in here?
So this is what I wanted to talk about in general. So they gave us a little bit of background that this facility is just made to harvest energy from like whatever the remainder of the planet of Koresh is. So like my question was like, who set up this facility? What kind of energy are they harvesting? Yeah, like who is doing this? Who's doing this mining operation is my question.
Somebody wants a lot of void banana energy. Bananergy.
Okay, Donkey Kong.
He can turn into an ostrich. Ha!
Zebra. But honestly, though, okay, thinking about it, it's probably Dimensius, right? Because they're bringing Dimensius forth. I have to imagine he isn't just, like, being summoned in, not knowing he's being summoned in. He probably called for this in some way, right?
Especially because Koresh, he fucked up. Like, he destroyed it all, and then, like, the ethereals we know fled. So his goons had... it's sort of like Argus. His goons had full control of this planet for eons. So yeah, he probably had these facilities built forever ago. And then when he got expelled or whatever, it was just like, oh, turn them on, bring me back. Use my respawn card.
Do we know anything about the World Soul that lived that? Because as you said, Dimensius blew up Koresh first, right? Is that why he's so big? Is he like a World Soul Void Lord?
Apparently so. This is old, like you said, TBC lore. I don't know this, but just in the video and in the lore walking, they said that he ate it. He gobbled up the soul. So I'm going to assume he is just Koresh's world soul now.
Okay, I was just making sure because the Wowhead article, or was that what I was reading, said that he corrupted the world soul. And I'm like, corrupted is a weird way to say destroy.
Corrupted could be true, but my three people on the couch, or two people on the couch and my giggly host, eat was the phrase that they used.
Very interesting. So does that mean he has Titan essence inside of him? Will we be able to put him in a Titan containment chamber?
Okay, so timeline-wise, did he eat this world soul before we beat him the first time, or did we beat him the first time he went away, then he ate Koresh?
I believe he ate Koresh millions and zillions of years ago. And then when we fought him, I don't think... granted, not a TBC head. I don't think it was the real
Dimensius.
I think it was an avatar of, because he was maybe like 20 feet tall, and he's a lot bigger now. So I'm going to assume that the first time we fought him, it was not actually him. But then, wait a minute. Wasn't he in a dungeon too?
Yeah, he was.
Fuck. That wasn't him, right?
Oh, it was him. But I think the thing is... Here, so I'm on the Wowpedia for it. So it was many thousands of years ago. He invaded Koresh and destroyed it, right? And he opened countless gateways into the void and the twisting nether around Koresh, bathing it in dark and arcane energies. They tried to stop it. He grew powerful enough to summon enemies through, forcing them to leave, and Koresh was destroyed. I think what we saw in the dungeon, I think that was like an avatar of. And I think it even specifically says something to that effect. Like, oh, this is a piece of him coming through the portal.
I mean, because it's like very small in comparison to what he will be presenting himself as in this raid.
We got a lot of questions, and I'm very excited about it. There's just this is like, finally, I'm like, good. Like, I love the Undermine. Honestly, the Undermine was great, but this is such a funny tone shift that I'm like, ooh, like, let's go.
It's a completely about face to the tone of things, and like, that's cool. That's one of my favorite things about WoW, honestly, how like within one expansion we just get like such drastically different vibes between patches sometimes.
We call this in the books a reverse Korthia. We have gone from silly to serious, where at Korthia we had a stolen realm and guys where every other quest was like, oh, I got abducted, oh, I was killed. And then we went to Zareth Mortis, where it's like, here's your silly talking ball. Hang out with him for a little bit.
What does the ball say?
And nothing anymore. I bring him out sometimes, but he no longer pokes anything.
It's so sad. Speaking of sad, Nexus King Salhadar is a boss in this raid.
What
is
the
funny.
heck? I thought I took him out during lore walking with Lore Walker Cho.
Right, because it says Salhadar was killed in the Nether Storm. So how the fuck can Dimensius res the dead? How is he back?
They don't want to say it's a different guy. I mean, can you really tell one ethereal from the other? Come on.
Oh man, you don't even have the void power. You can't even tell. You don't.
Yeah,
have
come on.
vision.
You don't have your Reshi wrap on. Can you really? As long as this guy's also orange, all orange people look alike to Growlina.
It's one of those things where it's like before you activate your Reshi wraps, you're like, oh, that's got to be Nexus King Salhadar, like, right? Like it looks like him. Then you then it's like you put on your glasses or like activate your Reshi wraps, and then it's just a completely different guy. It's like, oh, maybe I'm just a little racist towards ethereals.
Oh, we didn't mention that Did we mention that the ecological zoo zone is also a dungeon?
I did, yes.
We did not.
I did, yes. In fact, if you roll the tapes back, I said that there is a dungeon there, and that it is the conclusion of the 11.2 story. They specifically said as much. Terrorists will come and invade your zoo, and you will have to fight off evil zoo creatures and them.
Well, it's weird that's the end of the storyline.
That's what I'm saying.
But then we have the raid where we destroyed Dimensius from being resurrected. Maybe it's one of those things where it's like the storyline of the patch is separate, and then like also at the end of saving the zoo, we get like the word that like, oh, Dimensius' location is here. He's being resurrected.
Wait, I'm confused. Why do you guys think it's weird? What do you
because it's weird that we fight Dimensius, who is so big. He is large. They say he's larger than one of our capital cities. And then they're like, oh no, and also terrorists are here. I feel like after we defeat like a Void Lord, it's like, no, the guards can handle terrorists at the zoo.
You think terrorists just go away once one world threat is ended?
I'm sure the guards can handle some terrorists at the zoo.
Well, you don't have to go to the zoo then. You don't have to do the quest, right? Isn't that the same?
No, I'm saying narratively.
I don't understand the problem.
I'm
with the
saying
narrative.
narratively, it's weird that the zoo wouldn't be squeezed in the middle.
You get a happy story at the end of a world-ending threat where we probably lose somebody. Someone's probably gonna die.
But to loop back to Immune's point, yes, one of the terrorists is going to be holding on to Eridicron's rock scale and be like, oh, this guy paid us to be here. And that way we can loop into whatever 11.3 is.
Oh, and that's how Eridicron is looped into this. He's like not always there because he's just like the main benefactor. He's like paying for this. He's just really wealthy.
He hit the slots and undermined while we weren't looking. We were too busy fighting Muggsy. We didn't see this guy hitting the slots.
We missed the big rock dragon.
So I'm reading the quote because they mentioned it on Wowhead, and she said, I think the cool thing about the Eco Dome is that the canonical route that the storyline takes place is the campaign, the raid, and as Aaron said, the Eco Dome. This is not a thing we do often, so I'm really looking forward to seeing how people react to this cadence. So we have two.
Not
We
well.
have two. It's weird, and one I think it's okay. For me, I just see it as like you're getting a refresher, you're getting a little palate cleanse. But I would love to hear from the listeners if you guys think it's weird. I'll put a poll up on Spotify. If you're on Spotify, if you're not, you can just email me and let me know.
Yeah, no, I think Aaron and I are just saying that, like, and I think that they were saying there too, that like the cadence is just a little weird. If like it ends at like this little tiny baby zoo that we're just making out in the middle of the void in this eco dome, like just like the magnitude of it, right? You know, that's what we're saying.
I don't want Void Steward Eldamar to come at me with the same energy as like, oh my god, Dimensius is being reborn. We need to stop him now. To like, oh my god, 3 unhoused people are at the zoo and they're letting the animals out. It's like, I need them to look at me and be like, champion, we can't stop this problem, but it's not really that much of a problem. It's more of a nuisance.
Very interesting. And I think part of the reason that I think they're doing this is probably because every other time we end a 0.2 patch, we just end it by killing the guy, and then like Sarkareth, right? He just kind of lays there and it's like, we've defeated the void, and then it's just like end scene.
Yeah, and now we're going to defeat the like giant Dimensius that is the size of 5 Stormwinds. And he's going to shrivel up into like a little tiny kitty cat, and we're going to be like, you would go perfectly in our zoo.
Guys, hear me out. Let's put him in the zoo. I'm sure between my 7,000 bees, there's space for 1 cat.
I know you people are. Someone's got to be like, I like this idea. Who stands with me? Let it be known, because these two freaks.
Excuse me. I just suggested
freaks.
the idea here. I want Dimensius cat in my zoo.
These two freaks hate the idea of a palate cleanser at the end of a big raid, and they don't want to go help Venari at the zoo.
Hey, I'm Venari's number one fan. I'm glad she's back.
We didn't even fucking talk about the fact that she's back, by the way. She's no longer Xerath. What we didn't talk about the fact that I feel like not enough people talk about that she became Xerath Mortis for a little bit, and then she just decided to be a person again.
Wait, what do you mean she became Xerath Mortis?
At the end of Shadowlands, she sacrificed her broker body to become one with Xerath Mortis's like defense systems.
Okay. Wait, I forgot this.
Yes, and just for no particular reason, the new writers, I guess better writers, said, no, she went back into her body because she's back to being a broker again.
Hey, I'm pulling up the lore. I want to see specifically what they say. What like
you saw her cooked body. Literally, her body was set ablaze from the electrical energy of becoming Xerath Mortis, and then she just became a guy again.
No. See, you forgot a crucial piece of information that I also forgot. After 5 days, Venari sent the Mallwalker a letter revealing her survival and how she had faked her death to get Cartel V off her back. She then revealed that within Xerath Mortis, she created a device that allows her to travel the cosmos, which led her to meeting Zolotorios, who agreed to serve as her guide as they explored the new unknown.
Wait, so she never even became part of the security system? Why have I believed that for 6 years? Am I dumb?
What, did you check your mail? Maybe after 5 days you did check your mail and it got deleted. Because that could have actually happened. Like, that legitimately could have happened.
She and I were such good friends that she never even sent me mail. She said, I thought you would just know. I thought you would just know how I roll.
You would sense that I faked my death and went abroad.
Well, I'm glad, because I was like, oh my god, you're right, she did die. Because I remembered seeing her body. So I'm glad that I got all those reminders, because I would have been like, wait a minute, how the fuck she do that?
It is 46 minutes, and we have not talked about the things that happened 2 days ago, 1 day
that's fine.
ago.
Honestly, I think that's fine, because it gives Immune time to do the campaign, because he hasn't done it at all. And I really like this campaign, actually.
If y'all want to talk about it, that's 100% fine with me. Like, it's fine.
No. I want that to be like talked about with more time, not like with less time.
And also I will say, everything that happened yesterday, I did within the day and a half that we had. So we have a lot of time to wait. So, hey, everyone, 11.1.7 came out. You will be hearing about that next week.
I do think that like the hot goss right now is 0.2. So I'm cool with just the rest of this episode doing that. Give me some time to catch up, and then we can reconvene about 11.7 next week, because we'll be in that for a while anyways. So
they're making big strides towards the warband folk, because the Reshi wraps are going to be very friendly. Campaign skip for Reshi wraps immediately available for alts. And I guess the overcharged delve belt, which is 11.17, that also apparently is really easy to get on alts. So that's great news all around.
that is great news, because one of my least favorite things about the borrowed power items is having to grind them out. Like the fucking ring, having to go there, kill bosses for X amount of hours or whatever, and level it up all the way. Wasn't that fun, honestly.
I was reading a German article where that news came from. So I had to kind of parse through all the Deutsch, you know?
Also, one of my favorite things is that like whenever WoW drops a bunch of big info, we just get a bunch of these interviews in foreign languages that we need to figure out what people are talking about.
There's going to be a new Guess who's calling? Can you guys guess who's calling right now?
Your mother.
Yep, let's see. But welcome back to the podcast, Maria. You've called in approximately right on time. We were waiting for you.
I thought that was on Thursdays.
It was. Isn't that funny? We did it a day early.
Well, the fuck am I supposed to know?
That's very fair.
Who knows?
Damn
Okay.
it, I need to jerk out, but I can't.
Everyone say bye. Everyone say bye to the podcast people.
Bye. Bye, podcast people.
In her defense, she called on a Wednesday this time, and this is weird.
Yeah,
So
this is entirely on us at this point.
I blame her. New community event is coming, titled something similar, because it was in German, to Devour Attacks, where deadly enemies from throughout the cosmos will be drawn to anima brought from the Shadowlands to power the ecodomes of Koresh. Now wait a minute, why are we moving anima out of the Shadowlands? Isn't that like their whole thing? Don't they need that?
I thought it was like literally the lifeblood of people who are dying that they were using to like power the Shadowlands.
I guess the brokers got really into using it as a power source, probably even when they go back to their, spoilers, home planet. They're just like, we got this anima stuff, it really fucking kicks.
Maybe they're just like, the player base stopped tending to their gardens in Ardenweald. We have all this leftover anima. The seeds are shriveling up. We might as well ship it off to Venari, who's starting up a zoo.
V bought a zoo. No, that doesn't work. Nari's in very small text next to it. Alongside this sick lean emote that's showing up in 11.2.
Slash
Are
lean.
y'all ready to lean with it and rock with it?
I'm ready to slash lean and drink some lean and then go out like so many of Wheezy's friends.
I feel like this was a natural step here, because a very large amount of NPCs lately have just been shown to lean on things, and I got kind of jealous. So I think they were testing the waters here, if like it was something that people would be interested in. So I'm glad that the slash lean is becoming a thing for real.
Me too, because I'm also in the BFA time walking. They've released coats that are Flynn Fairwind's coats, and as soon as I got it, I thought about, I need to lean like he does to be cool. And I know they were like, okay, the coat's here, lean's coming too.
Oh, he's like the progenitor of slash lean, basically.
Yeah, it's like you will get the full Flynn Fairwind experience coming up. I promise you.
Lean, baby, lean.
My favorite part about slash lean also was I brought it to the group and Slidewhistle said, that's so crazy. It's fake because Mr. Googly Moogly said it. I said, there's a video of him slash leaning, and you said that could be fake. Are you
exist?
Are you implying that Mr. Googly Moogly would be able to hack into the game and do a
private server? All somebody has to do is show Mr. GM a video that they made in their WoW private server, which exists and are illegal, and they just put in a slash lean mod and they modeled it, and then he got his hands on it. He didn't post anything but the picture. I'm
no,
not believing that kind of
he literally posted a video.
the same thing.
The tweet that I shared was the video of Mr.
I watched the video.
Mr. Good Morning leaning.
It's the same thing. He didn't post anything of context. And didn't he lie to us before? Didn't he have that humongous lie?
That's true. Mr. Great.
Ooh, the shamans thing? Is that what it?
Mr. Great Munchies, you are in trouble because you did purport on the human shaman thing.
So, like, I feel like if, like, Wowhead did that to me, I would be like, oh, well, fuck, I don't even know what the fuck to believe anymore now. At least, like, their shit has sources. Like, they're like, this is from the PTR that just went up 2 minutes ago.
I wonder if you'll need to be physically near a solid substance to /lean, or if I'll be able to hit a /lean in just, like, empty space.
I mean, you can lean against nothing. It's just kind of like stunting on them, you know?
Yep. You can lean in the middle of nowhere, it says. Lean to your heart's content.
Yeah, it's just like crossing your arms and like leaning to the side a little bit. It's kind of judgmental, and I'm here for it.
We can't even fit all this news. There's like literally just so much shit. Nexus Princess Kaivez is coming back. She's going to be the season 3 Delve enemy.
She's the Delve enemy. Yeah, we'll maybe finally be able to put her down.
That's honestly crazy to me because like all of us saw her escape and we're like, oh, she's coming back for something big. And then like, how would you feel if you escaped and then you were relegated to being like the Delve end boss? I don't know.
Oh my god, and also fucking shit, we have a giveaway. Fuck. It's 54 minutes into the recording. I will record something at the beginning, but we're circling back here. Hey everyone, we're giving away Pride t-shirts or something price equivalent on the Blizzard store for Pride. All you need to do is take a picture of you doing something fun underwater. Pride River, Pride Estuary is the theme of the year. Do something fun underwater, take a picture, send it to us on Discord or any of our various social medias, and we'll enter you in for a $33 equivalent gift from the Blizzard store, a shirt or something like that. We've already received a few, so people are in it at Pride River.
Yeah, and so like, what do we think? We'll pick a winner. What did we say the deadline was?
It was noon on June 26th because we are recording on that day. That will be the recording date of the final day of June, Pride Month.
Yeah, sign up, do it, send us emails, studentrouletepod@gmail.com, thebarcoffin@gmail.com, shoot them off, aircow1080@aol.com, shoot them off. Don't send to that one, I wouldn't be able to get it. That is the Hubbard's email from across the street.
No, but that's your real life old neighbors. Why do you know that?
Because that was when we first had the internet. I remembered my email, and I know all the emails of my dad, my mom, and my neighbors. That's only 3 emails.
If you want to waste time, send it to gameguideguy@comcast.net. I don't think I could feasibly even get back into that account, but if you want to send it there, maybe it'll receive it.
Shoot it off. This is one that we probably won't talk about next week. Tazvesh hard mode is coming back alongside the dungeons. Now that's weird. We haven't had a hard mode return. Have we had a dungeon with hard mode before? I guess.
I think this is kind of like a unique thing where like I don't know that this has been relevant until now. But we also have the full dungeon pool, right? Like for season 3, which I think is kind of interesting. Let me see if I can name them off the top of my head. I think they had 4 that were voted in based off of a poll, which is like 2 from season 1 and 2 from season 2. I believe it's Priory and Floodgate from the current season. And let me see if it will come back to me. It's one of the Nerubian ones.
City of Threads, maybe? City of Threads. That you got that. And what's the last one?
Ooh, the other Hollowfell one, Dawnbreaker.
Ooh, the one where you fly on the ships and no person ever fully understood it.
And I think this lends to the theory that people just vote for the ones that have trinkets that they want in.
Borrowed power.
And then the other 4 are, I believe, the new like Ecodome dungeon. The 2 Tazavesh ones split into like Celia's Gambit and Streets of Wonder. And what was the last one?
Oh,
I'm so close to
fuck,
naming
you're
them
so
all.
close. You're so close.
Ooh. Halls of Atonement from Shadowlands.
Oh, you fucked it up. Did you do the dam? Did you do the Undermine
The what?
dungeon?
Yeah, he said Floodgate.
Okay, I'm gonna go recede into the background now. Ah.
Whew. I'm actually kind of impressed that I did this. I just saw it in passing earlier today, the 8 of them, and I don't know. Well, I think it's a pretty decent dungeon pool, though. Like, I'm here for it.
Yeah, I don't like that we're getting dungeons we had in season 2. I think it's lame to have dungeons that I am still doing. Like, I don't know. I like when I get a fresh new set. I don't want anything that I'm currently in.
At least I feel like the 2 that are in from season 2 we got used to. At least that's something. We could have had Sanguini instead, though.
Yeah, kind of glad. All right, I guess we'll just save the rest for next time and go into top toot, bottom boot, medium moot. I'm gonna kick us off with a top toot.
Toot. I came back from the ghost realm.
Back from the ghosts of Koresh. My top toot is I think I'm playing my Shadow Priest. I think the fact that I know what I'm playing, and the problem is I'm probably going to need to keep my healer geared because we're probably going to need it for raid.
You know, and
So
I
my question to
never
you.
asked. So Squirm Priest, he will not heal.
He's not supposed to heal. He only wants to. He likes to hurt people and things. So he does like void stuff.
So my question to you, thematically, is Squirm in because he is a void elf, and like this is like a void expansion that's led by Illyria and like Dimensius.
Yes, I believe I usually end up somehow tying my characters with whoever the talking head is. Jaina was walking around. I'm like, oh, we're going to Jaina land. Let me get on my fucking mage. She's a frost mage. She knows Jaina. They're cool. They went to college together. Illidan's gone. Demon Hunter. Illyria. Who we got? Oh, I got a Squirm. Yeah, they go way back. He helped her something. That's his lore. So basically, Illyria and Locust Walker are doing shit. Bitch, that's my people. I gotta go make sure that they're doing shit right, not fucking it up.
Honestly, that's fair. That's way more than fair.
And this also does really help a lot. They announced major Shadow Priest rework because I have a lot of complaints, and now that I'm playing it again, they're gonna have to ask me what I think, and I know exactly what to say.
Well, luckily they all listen to this podcast, so they will be hearing.
Mm-hmm. Aaron, TTBBMM.
Well, unfortunately, I do have a bottom boot this week.
Boo.
During the lore walking, which is a bit that we did not talk about, but catch us next week. We'll talk more about it. I was going through at this moment, feels like we didn't need to be there Lich King lore walking bit. And I made it all the way to the part near the end where he is ascending the stairs of ICC and he's getting rid of all the memories he doesn't want to remember. And I made it to his daddy, and his daddy said, "It's time for you to go to literally the final bit of the quest." And I hit yes. And Lore Walker Cho said, "Glitch." And I said, "What?" And he said, "This will no longer work anymore."
Like, Slide had similar glitches with the lore walking things that pissed him the fuck off.
We'll talk about it more next week. They didn't code this thing very well. The fact that they went back and been like, you need to do old quests. It's a real, like, it's held together with scotch tape, this whole thing.
I think the concept of it is good, but yeah, it does not surprise me that the execution isn't there.
So I slipped and fell at the final moment, and it wouldn't let me go and just talk to his dad anymore. So I had to stop the story, go to a different character, play up all of the storyline to then finish it with them. So Growlina still doesn't understand what happened to Arthas. She made it to, he was hitting a bunch of spirits on the stairs, and she goes, "That's all I need to know about him."
Yeah, I had a problem when I logged out and logged back in. I was on Koresh, or wherever the fuck you are with the Void Elf stuff, and me and Walker Cho were sitting on a bench, right? Logged out, came home, logged in. There's no fucking ground. I see myself sitting for a second, and then I'm falling. I phased through the motherfucking planet, and I fell into a pit. And so, because I'm in a pit in Outland or Legion, wherever the fuck I was unable to go fly to my body because I was in a pit. So I had to fucking spirit healer res and take like a 3,000 gold repair hit because Lorca Cho didn't fucking hold my hand when I faced to the fucking earth.
That happened to me when I left on Growlina and I said, go back to the middle of the story, please. And it put me in the middle of the earth next to Azeroth herself, the last guardian, in Northrend.
Wow, you were a few expansions ahead there for a second.
Yeah, they said, you better get up because you're both in fatigue zone and you're underwater. And I managed to make it to the top. And then Lord Walker Cho was like, what? You're in Northrend? Orange Justice.
Wow, hit you with the emotes. Jesus.
But anyways, it was bad. And I'm sure I'll talk about it more later. But Immune, I believe you are the final member of the DK crew. Let us know your TT, BBMM.
Well, I'll have a top 2 here.
Toot toot.
I'm going to be a little shitter and say that my top 2 is that in true immunization fashion, I am always a day or two late. So hopefully these bugs are out of the way by the time I start lore walking. They probably won't be.
I hope you skin your knee. I hope you skin your knee like you skinned your hands, bud.
Joke's on you. I also skinned my knees during that encounter, and they are still very bruised.
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy.
It's okay. They're healing. I'm down from gauze to just bandages on my hands, so that's something.
I'm gonna go. I'm done. I was too rude. I drank too much power punch, and now I gotta go.
No, just in time. You have the blue one up next. But like, to be a little more serious, my top 2 is just the sheer amount of excitement that the 0.2 patch information instilled in me today. I am fully invested and excited to see where this all goes. We don't have a date, so like that kind of sucks, but like I'm excited for where it's going. I like Ethereal, Broker, Void, Dementia storyline. I'm here for it. Top 2.
Well, speaking of top toots, let me get past all of my notes I took for 11.1.7 and go right on back to our $5 a month patrons. They include Ahoy Vince, Azar, and Digital Dave asking Growlina to say, for the Horde. Misket, the Orchidee Orc, Mitch, who wants to remind everyone that Rathian isn't daddy, he's a literal child. Crucifix, Alternator, Saracen Hawk, Justin, give me back my PhD, Arcane. Cake Puncher, Baba Booey McGee, Sugar Bear.
Time is money, friend.
Dr. Foster, Grumpy Old Shaman. Jerome, Ollie, Adorno.
What you stealing boxes for? What you trying to build, a clubhouse?
Losing the Patient, Gershi is going to East Hills. Duff the Horde, Pooper Cooper. Calcus.
They took our jibs.
Dig your jam! Dig your jam!
Cilantro, Alex A, Vanderlyle. Have a nice day! And Will, aka Tire, Trade Chat's fallen father.
You can join these fine folks at patreon.com/do-not-relent. Go there. I gave you all the other stuff. If you didn't hear it the first time, you ain't gonna hear it this time. What about you guys? Where you at?
Well, I will be generous and say that you can find all of our links by going to do-not-relent.com. But if you want to find me in particular, Alex or Immunization, you can go to Twitter at New Era Alex or Blue Sky at Immunization.
You can find me, Aaron the Human, at the Big Cheesy on Twitters.com and watch me play videograms at twitch.tv/AaronDNR. I think I'll play something tomorrow, but by the time you're hearing this, that was a day in the past, and I'm not going to play anything this weekend. So, too bad, so sad. Go call your dad.
Ring ring. You didn't call me on Father's Day.
I did, and I saw him too. We had blueberry muffins and lemon cake.
Have some lemon cake. And remember,
Another down! Do not relent!
Do Not Relent is a podcast within the 3HNC network, representing U.S. Proudmoore's premier podcasts.
That was a very good wish.